One thing you should do before starting this series is make a checklist with all the different anime archetypes there are for girl characters. Why? Because by the time you finish this series, you will have the list checked off in ways you didn't even know were possible. So without further ado, cue title scene. Clannad, as well as its second season, Clannad After Story, is a 2007 romantic drama anime that has developed a huge cult following. Like Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online, I went into this series knowing what was being said about it, knowing how much people love and rave about it. A lot of people consider it one of the all-time great romantic animes, just an amazing anime in general, and some people even say on a world scale it's one of the best romantic stories ever put to TV. And when I got through this series, it's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I understand where the hype for this comes from, but to be honest, I kind of didn't see it, for the most part. We'll get into where this is good in a minute, but for now, let's start with the story. This series is your typical high school setup, and I'm not going to lie, the first 3/4 of this show is pretty generic and by the book. You have your main character, Tomoya, and basically he's supposed to be like the loner, kind of a jerk, basically a delinquent. I say supposed to be because the story does a terrible job of showing this. And I know I'm going to step on some toes, but fuck it, that's the truth. The thing is that they set it up that Tomoya is all that, a delinquent, a loner, very rude, very mean. But the problem is we never see him be that. During the entire first episode, he's constantly going from being rude to then being the nicest guy in the world. Rude again, nicest, and this goes on for several episodes. And to be perfectly honest, it made it really hard to get into the character. Why? Because there is no character. He's changing once every 5 minutes. Once he stabilized, yeah, he became very much someone I wanted to follow and see where he went, and I was on board for what was going on, but it took way too long. And while we're on the subject, I do think that is Clannad's biggest problem. It spreads itself out way too thin. There's 1,000 things going on at any one time in this. And to be perfectly honest, I only care about one thing. And that's what is supposed to be the focus. And that is the relationship between Tomoya and this girl Nagisa. And the thing about Nagisa is I should probably complain how she's basically your perfect angel moe girl. She has no real flaws, no problems, and if she does, it literally just gets chalked up to being oh so cute or the thing that isn't in control for her. And yeah, that's true, but to be honest, I liked it. I thought she worked very well for this story. I think that does have to do with the fact of what Tomoya is supposed to be. There's meant to be kind of like this opposites attract feel to it, but there is a very real sense of connection between these two, and I like the way it's done. Basically, Nagisa's character, in its true sense, is she's been very sick her whole life. She's constantly missing school, and because of this, she had to repeat her senior year of high school, which is where this story picks up. And the idea is that, you know, all her friends are gone. She's very lonely. She's a very quiet, very timid, shy girl. And I like the way that was done. I like the idea that he's the guy who's a loner, mostly by choice and his own actions. She is it more because of circumstances and what's out of her control. And I thought that if the story focused on that, and trust me, by the last, again, most of the second season does this and does it very well, focuses on their relationship, shows their life together, where it goes to and beyond high school, which I thought was shown really well and done predominantly nice. But again, the road getting there is very annoying, very dragged out, and also just really boring. I gotta honestly say, I don't really remember much about any of the other characters in this. Mostly because, A, they're all girls. And typically when you have a show where the main character is one gender and everyone else is another gender, it usually all comes down to the same thing. Every girl falls in love with him, which it does in this. And there's all the cute little moments where, oh my god, we all love him so much, but of course no one knows it. And of course, naturally, there's the moment where they all realize the truth, and all the drama, and all this and that, and everyone's got a sob story. That's what really hurt this. Every character has the most dramatic thing you've ever heard, and I swear to God, it just goes on and on and on. throughout this whole series, I never once felt like there was much of a focus to it. There was nothing straightforward, no one thing that really pushed it forward. It wandered around the story it wanted to tell. It did get there, and it does that very, very well. But again, the road getting there, there was no forward momentum. There was no pushing the story forward. It all just went the way it went. I understand this series is based off of a visual novel, which is a type of video game where you play through the different stories, and of course, obviously in that, you meet each girl and you end up with them in some way, shape, or form. But when you're adapting that to a TV show, you've got to pick one story. That story should have just been, like I've said, Tomoya and Nagisa. If the story just focused on them throughout, if this series was half the length, just focused on them, this would have been a great show, and it is a very nice, well-done show. It's not quite for me, but I understand its appeal. What I'm saying is that the problem is that I never felt focused. I commonly felt bored with what was happening. There's a lot of funny moments in this, but they don't really help to move the drama forward or help with the characters. Again, it always just has that attitude of everything's so cute. And trust me, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The animation is okay. I'm not a big fan of the moe style, like, making the eyes the size of hands and really the overpronunciation of that, but I do think it works here very well. The characters, especially Nagisa, do come across very nice, very warm, very elegant, and I definitely think that was to its advantage for a lot of it. Except they have this weird side story going on between a little girl and a robot in another dimension, and that's hit or miss. A lot of people love this weird CGI stylized animation. It made me cringe every time. I did not like that. The score in this was, for the most part, just the adaptation of the video game score, but there's some beautiful tracks in this, especially towards the end of it when things are focused, where the drama and the music puts you into it, and it's so beautifully done, but once again, takes so long to get to everything. And when it comes down to it, that's all you can say about Clannad. It has a beautiful wrap-up. Granted, the last episode's pretty bad. You have some great story moments in this, but as far as a cohesive thing, all I can say is Clannad is a 6 out of 10 on the drama scale. I liked it, I enjoyed it, but as far as like calling it one of the all-great romantic drama animes, I don't know. I don't really even watch a lot of romantic drama animes. But do you? In the comment section below, what is your favorite romantic drama type of anime or movie or TV show, whatever you want to do. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe, because where the animation for this was creepy, I like to believe I'm very heartwarming.